Hey, welcome to my channel, Tea Talks with Joe. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Tonight I'm going to be discussing on forgiveness. Have you truly forgave a friend? Forgiveness, have you truly forgave a friend? We've been on this topic for quite some time and we're wrapping it up tonight. Before I talked about forgiveness. Have you truly forgave in a marriage? Dating, and have you truly forgave your adolescent, young adult, teens? So tonight we're talking about friendship, whether you have been in a disagreement, an actual fight, went some period of time without speaking to a friend, and you've rekindled that relationship, but you still haven't truly forgave, or you walked away from the friendship and you're still dealing with the unforgiveness in your heart. So tonight, that's what we're discussing. Forgiveness, have you truly forgave a friend? As you know, we always start the evening out with our tea talks with Joe. Have my 40-licious teacup tonight. And we're going to get started. We're going to jump into it. And like I said, we're wrapping up on this segment of forgiveness. Have you truly forgave? And it has been an awesome topic. And I have gotten a lot of feedback on this. And I'm just glad that you guys have liked it. And please continue to share each one as we learn together. So let's jump into this, okay? You got your tea or whatever you choose to drink on tonight as you listen to this video. So forgiveness, have you truly forgave a friend? So let's talk about what is friendship. And I'm reading off my notes here. Friendship, in my opinion, is genuine love. It's understanding. It's accountability. It's willing to compromise. It's support. Balance, and it's also forgiving. Some friends are closer than family. Friends play a major role in everyone's lives. Just think about it. You had a desire for a friend before you had a desire for a boyfriend or girlfriend. You always, in grade school or as young as you can think, as being a toddler, you always wanted to have a friend. You had that desire in you to have a companionship and friendship. Your mother or dad or both would take you out on play dates. And you were doing that as a toddler before you even had a desire as a companionship in the opposite sex. So that's just how heavy friendship weighs in everyone's lives. A friend or a circle of friends will support you through trials, deaths, relationships, a divorce, being single, loneliness, depression, anxiety, or both. Family and children issues, and also a friend will support you in forgiveness. A friend will hold you accountable and correct you when you're wrong. As a friend, when these things happen, the recipient should be acceptable of the feedback, because a friend will not and should not steer you in the wrong direction. A friend will not justify your wrong, knowing that it will lead you to destruction. A friend will trust you, and a friend will be with you when you're at your lowest and when you are at your highest. Okay, so that's what I have down here as far as I'm trying to line this camera up so that I'm not keep turning my head away from you guys, but okay, that's a little better. So that's what I have as the overall concept on what is a friend, and that desire of having that companionship and friendship, and what that friend should be as playing a part of your life. Now let's discuss what a friend is not. Okay, so I have a lot of different things here as far as telling you what a friend is not. I think I got like 8 tips on this because I'm pretty sure we all can think of thousand more reasons or example what a friend is not. But however, these are some ones that really stuck out to me, so I want to share them with you guys. A friend is not selfish. Number one, meaning a friend should never want to jeopardize your character and put you in a bad situation to benefit themselves. For instance, a friend should never ask you to lie, manipulate, steal, or cover up their wrongdoing for them to make the wrong decisions to benefit themselves. I'm going to read that again because that was pretty lengthy. A friend should not be selfish, meaning a friend should never want to jeopardize your character and put you in a bad situation to benefit themselves. For instance, a friend should never ask you to lie, manipulate, steal, or cover up their wrongdoing for them to make wrong decisions to benefit themselves. Another example of selfishness a friend should not do. A friend should not expect, hold you accountable to attend all of their events, social events, etc., but it's acceptable and justified when they can't make your events. A friend would not give you an obligation to do certain things to their liking for you to be called their friend. Number two, a friend will not make everything about them, meaning they won't allow every conversation to be about their issues, their problems, and their achievements. You ever been on the phone with a friend and you're listening to every detail they are expressing about their achievements or a new person that they're dating and what all of these good things are going on in their lives? But as soon as you start to talk about the goodness of what's going on in your life, it's crickets on the other end. They become silent. They really don't engage in the conversation. They really don't have any feedback to say. There's no applaud for you, but they want you to cheer for them. So a friend would not make everything about them. And a friend won't entertain your conversation only when you are discussing drama or you're discussing issues that are at your lowest. Like a friend should not just be there when you are on your low, you know. They want to talk to you all day when you're talking about drama or your poor me, oh my. But when you're talking about the goodness and you're on a high, that friend don't want to, the conversation becomes a little short, or it becomes like a one answer, one word response. So a friend should not make everything about themselves. And number three, a friend won't isolate you from having other friends. Even if they don't care for the other people you're associated with, they won't make you choose sides. A friend won't cause drama or chaos in your life and in your social life. A friend won't hurt you by isolating you from other people. So, if you have that friend, or some of you may know other ladies or, gentlemen too that are in this type of situation, that they have that one friend that just want to take up all their time. They isolate them, don't want them to be engaged in any other friend or call anyone else a friend, let alone, Lord forbid, go on different events or with someone besides them. They don't like that, and a friend should not be that way to isolate you from doing those things, because those other friends that you're doing things are an impact on your life. They are impacting your social life as well. They're bringing joy and happiness to you. So a friend should not want to rob you of that. Number 4, A friend won't treat you according to your situation. For an example, if you're down and going through a hard time, your friend should be there and present. Okay? They won't just circle around and start showing up when you're back, on the top, or you're on the come up and then here they come. A friend won't just entertain you when you are satisfying their image. Okay, so for an example, do you know, like, there's certain individuals that say that they are your friend, but they only want to be your friend when you are contributing to their image. If they are known for being well dressed, or they have a certain title, or they have a certain employment, they have their own business, and they only want to circle around you when you are in the image of their liking. Although you guys may have been friends years ago and you may be down and out at this time, they kind of shy you away because right now you're not in the image that they give off. So they would think that you're making them look bad. But that's not a friend. Okay. Number 5, a friend won't portray you. A friend won't talk about you, your circumstances, and situations to tear you down. They won't discuss your business to exalt themselves, but only to seek guidance or info to help you and to contribute to enhancing your life. That's the only time they should be talking about you, if they say that you are their friend, is to enhance your life. Betrayal can also refer to backstabbing, conversing with someone you're dating, or conversing with your spouse if you're married behind your back. A friend won't converse with your spouse out of your presence. My opinion, period. Unless they planning something surprising for you. In my opinion, betrayal is not talking with a friend you don't like if that bothers you. So what I mean when I say that, in my opinion, if your friend is talking with another friend that you don't too much care for, to me that's not betrayal. To me that's control, if that bothers you, if they're talking to that other person. I believe, and in my opinion, a friend should not try to control other people that you talk to. So let's not get those two in cahoots, because one is meaning you're controlling who they're spending their time with and their other friends, and then the other one is betrayal. So we just discussed what that means. Two different things. Number 6, a friend won't get upset, jealous, or envy if you have outgrown them in areas of your life. A friend won't get upset, jealous, or envy if you start to outgrow them. Meaning, for instance, if you got a job promotion, you started a new business and your business has taken off, you're dating someone better than, their options, or somebody that they're currently dating because, they get into competition with you. Or your marriage is growing and doing better than theirs, you purchase a home, whatever that the case may be, a friend would not be envy and jealous of those things. A friend will celebrate you and all that you're doing to better yourself. A friend will celebrate you. They won't give off a certain body language and become distant or say subliminal responses out of jealousy. Number 7, a friend won't tear you down with their words and convince others not to deal with you because you have had a disagreement. Okay? That's a huge one. Let's read that one again. A friend won't tear you down with their words and convince others not to deal with you because you have had a disagreement. Number 8, a friend won't base the friendship on a point system. This is huge. You have a lot of people that are in friendships, and it's based off that point system is, I did this for you, you should do this for me. I came supported you here, you should support me here. Tick for tack, tick for tack. Now, I'm not saying that a friend is not supposed to be supportive. That's not what I'm saying. But if that's what you're solely basing your friendship on, then to me, that's really not a friend. A friend does things out of the abundance of their heart. So if I give you something, or if I buy you something, or if I go to one of your events and you can't make one of my events, I'm not holding that against you, because a friendship is not based on a point system. You know who your friend is based on the heart of your friend, not what they can do for you. Okay, number 9. A friend won't hold grudges and unforgiveness in their hearts towards you. A friend won't hold grudges and unforgiveness in their heart towards you. And that is a huge one, because that's what we're actually talking about tonight. But I'm going to give some examples. I don't want to go into detail with that one because I have it down here in the bottom of my notes. But a friend won't say they forgive you, you guys rekindle, or think that you have resolved a conflict, and they still are holding unforgiveness, and it shows in their body language, and it also shows in the conversations with you going forward. And here are some things that I have that you can kind of know when you're emotional disconnected from a friend because you're dealing with unforgiveness. And I'm going to read this here. So now that we have discussed what a friend is and what a friend is not and should not do, we should all be clear of where I'm heading with this. There are a lot of people who are dealing with individuals that are more on the category of what a friendship is not. And they are currently still friends with them and just giving them the title friend, but has emotionally disconnected. So they're dealing with a lot of people that are showing what a friend is not. You know, they have emotionally disconnected from them, but they're still calling them their friend and they're still hanging out with them, okay? When a person becomes emotionally disconnected, the disagreement that occurred was never resolved. They may say like, oh, you know, we talked about it, we squashed it, and we're moving on. But if they're emotionally disconnected, it's still going to show up in the friendship. A conversation was held between the two, but one or both parties didn't fully forgive, and they're still holding on to that grudge and that unforgiveness. So when that happens, like I say, the person becomes emotional disconnect, and this is how it looks and this is how it feels when you're dealing with a friend, or you are a friend that is emotionally disconnected in unforgiveness with your friend. So here's the examples of that, how emotional disconnected feels and how it looks. Number 1, before I start these, I'm going to take me a little sip. And you should have one too, because we family. Cheers. Okay. Emotionally disconnect. So this is how it looks. This is how it feels. Number 1, you limit or eliminate certain conversations you had with them before you fell out or had the disagreement. So what I mean about that is you start to limit, or you totally eliminate things that you shared with them before, that you will no longer have those conversations with them going forward after the disagreement, because you're dealing with unforgiveness and you're emotionally disconnected. So you have started limit or eliminating your conversations with them. Number 2, You no longer desire to engage in social events with them. You no longer even care if you even get an invite. You're kind of just going through the motions. If I show up, I show up. If they invite me, I'll go. But you're not really making it a priority in your life anymore to be at their event or even go to an event that they may be present. So you no longer desire to engage in social events with them. Number 3, you are no longer engaged in conversation with them. Your body language is responding like you really don't care what they're talking about. So you can be on the phone with them. Now you're still calling this person your friend, but you're emotionally disconnected. You're on the phone with them and you're rolling your eyes when they're speaking. You're doing all these other things but listening. You're not engaged in the conversation at all. Number 4, certain keywords they say trigger you to think about the previous disagreement. So that person could be over and done with, and have moved on. You may be that person that's dealing with the emotional disconnect, but you're on the fence because you're sitting there and you're kind of waiting for them to say something to trigger how the way you're feeling because you haven't previously forgave the last disagreement. So those keywords will trigger you, and sometimes you or the other party, whoever is dealing with the unforgiveness, can just start going off, or trying to rush the phone call to get off the phones because you don't want to talk anymore. Your body begins to act in a certain way. Your heart starts to pound. You're getting sweaty under your arms. And you're just thinking like, I know they did not even go there. But that person may not had even meant it in that way. But those little trigger words, those words, they're triggering you because you're emotionally disconnected and you're on the fence because you have not forgave. And number 5, which is what we just said, you're always on the defense to protect yourself. Number 6, you are waiting for the next disagreement because you assume all of a sudden they are moving different. So that could be something in your mind you're looking for. They acting a little funny. They moving different. She don't act the same way since we fell out. I noticed that she doing this. She doing that. So you're just waiting for the next thing to happen so you guys can have another disagreement, and then you can pull what you are still feeling from the disagreement before that. So you pulling those things because you have not truly forgave. Okay, so number 7, number 7, sorry. You say things like, I act accordingly. And everybody know what that means, but basically that's just saying that I'm going to act the way that they act. I'm going to respond the way that they respond. If she invite me, then I invite her. I'm moving the way she move. Well, if you're thinking about that, you're emotionally disconnected and you're dealing with unforgiveness because, yet again, guess what? You're still holding on to the last disagreement. If you have to say things that, we cool, but I don't really do her like that no more. Or, we just not there like that no more. If you're saying things about that like that, you're emotionally disconnected. Okay. Number 8, you start to disconnect from their family events. So that's that social disconnect that we talked about. And a lot of times you have close friends that family has become your family, but you start to disconnect from them because you're emotionally disconnected from your friends. So you start to cut the family off as well. Number 9, you're okay with not being invited. We discussed that. Number 10, you no longer make them a priority in your life. Okay, so we talked about how some people who are friends, they are like top priority, especially if it's two single people, or hey, one is single, one is married. That single person, majority of the time, they bestie, they're making a top priority in their life. But when you're dealing with a social, emotional disconnect, you're not making them a priority anymore. You're moving around them. You're doing other things without them. And then that's how that emotional disconnect looks to them as well. Okay, so then number 11, you drop the best and they become my friend. So before the disagreement, it was like, oh, you introduce them to everybody. Oh, this is my best friend. Or, you're on the phone with someone. Oh, I went out with my best friend. If you're dealing with that unforgiveness, you drop the best. And then going forward, you're introducing that person as, this is my friend. This is my homegirl. You know what? This is my homeboy. The best is gone. They no longer hold that title when you are emotional disconnect. And number 12, you're doing the bare minimum to keep them present in your life, just for you not to take the blame of no longer being friends. So you're just doing the bare minimum because you don't want to take the blame when everybody's asking you, oh, what happened between you and such and such. You don't want to take the blame, or don't want anyone to hear that it was because of you that you guys are no longer friends. So you guys had a disagreement. You had a sit down. You sat down just to save face, or you sat down just to say, I initiated to squash whatever beef that we have between us. But then you walked away from that situation, still emotional disconnected. And just doing the bare minimum just to say, oh yeah, her, we still talk. That's still my girl. To save an image also. So if you're experiencing some of all of these emotional disconnects, you're dealing with unforgiveness and you truly have not forgave your friend. So you must ask yourself, why am I still associating myself with them? Why are you all not talking, but you're still friends on social media? That's one thing that I'm trying to understand, because social media lifestyle and life outside of social media. From my last live on my Facebook group, we talked about this subject, and I had a guest speaker on there with me that said, kind of broke that down for me. Social media friends are different than outside of social media friends. So you keep that person on your friends so you can still kind of keep up with them, or see how they're doing and how their welfare is, make sure they still breathing and they're alive, but you don't want to have no dealings with them. Okay, so to me, social media has become really giving people, and I'm not saying all people, certain people that with that mentality, like a coward way of handling life circumstances. If you have an issue or a problem with someone, social media has really gave people an escape not to sit down and have a conversation, not to have to try to approach it. You can simply go on when you're ready to start rekindling the friendship or letting them know that you're cool with them again. You can just start liking their pictures. And then that person's supposed to reciprocate like, oh, I guess we all right. She liked my pictures the other day. I'm not with that. I'm more of let's sit down, let's talk about this, let's be truthful of what we need to discuss so that we can move on. Social media does not heal some of the issues, and it doesn't allow you to grow and stretch you as you should be growing as being an adult. To me, social media can kind of have you in a stuck situation or hinder you from things that you should be able to grow and approach. So, I mean, that's just my spiel, but hey, it works for some, not for me. So I just went off on a whole little shabam bam about social media, but I just had to say that because I think that when you're dealing with any type of relationship, it's not healthy to just brush it under the rug and just say, I'm just going to start liking their pictures again and looking at their stories and kind of being that subliminal message to say that you and I are straight again. Okay. So ask yourself, why are we not talking but we're friends on social media? Why is there still a crack in the relationship to rekindle the friendship? Why is the friendship able to be rekindled? Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied. Is the friendship able to be rekindled? And then you need to ask yourself, do you want to continue the friendship? These are questions you should ask yourself to walk in full forgiveness and to protect your peace. So you need to know, why is there still a crack to rekindle the friendship? Do I really want to continue the friendship? Why are we still friends on social media if I'm not really cool with them anymore? And am I willing to forgive to protect my peace? So if you are willing to forgive and protect your peace, friendships any relationship, you can forgive and you can rekindle, you can grow, and you can go on to do great things within that relationship. That's in a marriage, in dating, with your children, with your friendship, everything that we have discussed about friendship. Or you can truly forgive and make a decision to walk away. That's okay. Just because you walk away from someone doesn't mean that you do not need to do the healthy approach about going through the steps of full forgiveness. As I discussed before, full forgiveness is for you, and some people may not like when I say this, it's also for the other person as well. Because some people that think that they have not been forgiven for something that they have done is walking in pretty hell, because it's hindering them. It's hindering their growth. It's hindering them to love again. It's hindering them to make friends again. It keeps them stuck because they feel as if I have done the most horrible thing. I have not been forgiven, and how could I dare go on? And I've done these things. So to me, forgiveness works on both parties. The person that was not the problem or the issue, the forgiveness is for them to heal. Whether they stay or they go, that full forgiveness is for them to heal, for them to grow. And then the forgiveness for the person who did the wrongdoing, they need it as well, because guess what? That may help them be a better person, or that may help them to go, and also will help them to go on to do great things as well. So if you're wanting to continue the friendship, it's best to rekindle the friendship in a healthy way. So here are some tips I have, okay? These tips, I believe, will help you to fully forgive and continue a healthy friendship. So here we go. Let's take a sip before we get into this, because I have a couple of steps here. Well, I have 6. But these are some things that I think are great tips as far as to fully forgive a friend. Okay, so take your sip. And let's go. And let's go ahead and get down to this forgiveness part. Number one, have a relationship. Oh, I said have a relationship. That's not what I meant to say. Sorry. Number one, let's start over. Have a conversation and state the truth about your feelings. Have a conversation and state the truth about your feelings. Dig deep and tell your friend how they made you feel, what you didn't appreciate, and what was the issue that caused you to fall back from the friendship. Let them know your desire to continue the friendship. Set boundaries on what you won't allow going forward. And hopefully your friend will be receptive and respect your decision. When you approach this conversation, remember your tone is everything, okay? And your choice of words are very important. So one, you need to let your friend know. Don't sugarcoat it. Dig deep and think about all that this disagreement or what they said, what they did, how they emotionally hurt you or physically hurt you. Some people, are having, fist fights with friends and are wanting to rekindle the friendship. But you need to make sure that you're clear. And then you need to set a standard, set some boundaries to let them know, I'm not going to allow you to handle me in this way. I'm not going to allow you to talk to me this way. I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me as being your friend. And this is how the respect should be that I'm requiring as far as continuing on this friendship. Okay? So when you two have that conversation, hopefully the friend is receptive of it and you guys can move on. If they're not receptive of it, then you have to make a decision. Are you going to be emotionally disconnected? Are you going to be dealing with unforgiveness? Or are you going to make a decision and say, hey, I respect what you said. However, that's not what I am going to allow to happen in my life. And I'm going to go ahead and exit this friendship. But you have to be truthful about what you say. Number two, during the conversation, listen to your friend and don't make assumptions about how they are feeling. Okay? Their feelings, emotions, and experience during the disagreement is just as valid as yours. Listen to understand and not to respond or validate their experience or your actions during the disagreement. Don't be defensive. So on my live I did on this topic on Facebook, this is one of my pet peeves, is I don't like for anyone to tell me how they made me feel or how I should have felt about a situation. Everybody's feelings is valid. Their emotion is valid. So if they feel that way, the best thing to do, in my opinion, is listen. Don't justify it. Listen to it. And then let them listen to yours. And you got to kind of come here, in the middle to make a means of compromising with each other. Not to justify and get defensive and tell them, or for someone to tell you, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I didn't make you feel that way. Yes, you did, if they feel that way. So that is, to me, that's a good one for all type of relationships. But we're talking about friendships. So make sure that you are definitely, during the conversation, that you're putting on your ears and you're listening more than you're responding, and wait for your time to respond. I know you want to try to jump in there, but try to listen and hear them out and come in tune of their emotional feelings. Number 3, respect your friend's opinion and ask them to respect yours. We kind of covered that. Number 4, have the discussion with only you and your friend present, just you two. Don't have any mediators around or anyone else present, because if you do, then there's a chance to where that conversation can get escalated, because now some people think that they have to be someone else because they're putting on a show. So they can't really be sincere, or they have to continue on the image that they put on when they were upset with you, or you guys had a disagreement. You know how after you have a disagreement, you're on fire, you mad, you going off. So they done called this person, and has told that person all how they feel in the heat of the argument. And now that they have calmed down, and if these people are present during the conversation that's supposed to be the rekindle conversation, they're going to be on the up, because now they got to save face, because they done cut up so much. They have to keep that same image going. So if you're going to rekindle the friendship, make sure it's just you and that other person, that you guys have a sit down. Go to somewhere, a public place where you can sit down and talk amongst each other in a good tone. Number 5, eliminate the naysayers and negative people contributing to the disagreement. If you don't eliminate them, limit the conversations that you are having with them about your friend. We just talked about that in a sense. So the people that you've called to tell your side of your story, or the other party called and told their side of the story during the argument, they are feeding into that, they're being negative about it. Oh, that's what she meant. You don't need to be her friend anyway. She been doing you like this all along. Yada da 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 da. All the naysayers, all the negative people. If you are going to walk in full forgiveness to forgive your friend, you got to eliminate or limit the conversations you are having with the negative naysayers that are around. And some of them may be in your circle. So you got to stop entertaining the conversation that they want to have, or continue to pick up between you and that friend that had the disagreement, if you guys are going to rekindle your friendship. And that's a huge one, because that's a hard one to do, but it is possible. Number 6, if all go well, you guys have done all this 1 through 5. If all goes well, I would say seal it with a hug. And not one of those little pat on the back, yeah, all right. A sincere hug between you and your friend. An emotional, sincere touch to me always help as a confirmation. You can feel that connection, spirit to spirit, as a confirmation. Like, this is full, I have fully forgave you. I am sorry. Please give me a hug. And then you go on from that. Some people cry, because that's emotional. Especially when you love your friend. You guys done went through some stuff. You haven't talked to each other in a couple of months. Heck, in years. Some of them still holding grudges. And you ready to get back with each other. You need to hug on your friend. I'm sorry that I made you feel that way. Please forgive me if I did that, and I am sorry. Sincerely. And that's what I have for tonight. Is I just think that everything that I discussed in this whole wrap up of forgiveness, have you truly forgave, has been a great topic. If you are just logging on to this one and you've loved what you've heard, I truly recommend to look at the other ones. I really got personal in the one with the adolescents kids, because I love to share with you guys if it's anything I'm currently going with. I just take that information and I want to pour it into a video right then, because during that time, myself alone, millions of other people could be experiencing and going through the same things. With all of these topics I discussed with forgiveness, I've been there. I know that we've all been there. And like I say, I'm no therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a pastor. I am a woman that has experienced a lot of things in life, and I am sharing my experiences with the world. And I enjoy what I do. So if you have enjoyed what you have heard tonight, please go back and look at the other videos on forgiveness. Have you truly forgave? Share the videos, like them, subscribe to my channel. I will be uploading another video this upcoming week. I haven't got a topic yet for it. I think I'm right there at one, but I kind of just wait until God give me a confirmation on what to speak on. But this was my video tonight. I have really enjoyed speaking with you guys on forgiveness. Have you truly forgave? Don't forget to like my Facebook page. I'm under Jolanda Reese, and then I have a group on Facebook as well. It's an all women's group. It's a private group, and it's Tea Talks with Joe. Fellas, I am not leaving you guys out. That's why I have these videos here. But get on to Tea Talks with Joe, ladies. I am also on Instagram as well, and you can find me under Joe Reese under Instagram. Thank you for following me. Please do. And thank you for liking this video and sharing it. That's all I have for you guys tonight. I hope you have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed speaking with you. And until next week, you guys have a wonderful, blessed night.